Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare Krishna.
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 Krishna Krishna.
Krishna Krishna.
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
Hare Rama.
Hare Rama.
Hare Rama.
Hare Rama.
Rama Rama.
Rama Rama.
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
Jai Shri Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki.
Jai.
Anantapati Vaishnava Vrinda ki.
Jai.
Nitai Gaur Premanand.
Hari Hari Bo.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees.
Hare Krishna.
I hope everybody is well this evening. We will read just for a few minutes from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. And it's very interesting that whoever was reading this book before I read it They had their marker at the exact spot that I wanted to read. I guess it must be a good part of the book. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Shri Krishna. But he is Shri Krishna who has not come with the mood of the Supreme Person, but he is Shri Krishna who has come with the mood of a devotee or a bhakta. He has come with the serving mood of a bhakta. He has come with the serving mood of his greatest bhakta, who is one of the young ladies of Vrindavan, whose name is Srimati Radharani. And Sri Krishna in his aspect is Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He wanted to understand how is it that a bhakta loves him so much. Because Sri Krishna undoubtedly loves his bhaktas. One of the names of Sri Krishna is Bhaktavatsal, which means that he is the lover of all of his devotees. Sri Krishna is so kritagya, and he is so grateful, he is so thankful to his bhaktas for the service that they render with love. Consequently, he is prepared to give himself as the gift to one who will love him purely. This is how wonderful is the love of Sri Krishna. This is why Sri Krishna, he repeatedly requests us to perform the necessary activities which will enable us to come to him. And he says, please, just come to me and accept the shelter of my soft feet. And if you do that, I will remove any impurity which you may have, and I will take you with me. I will qualify you to go back to Godhead. And there, in Goloka Vrindavan, we can play and we can love eternally. So he so much wants this, and he's so much willing to do whatever he can. And he's so much willing to make every arrangement for us to come to him. But then his bhaktas, especially his pure bhaktas, they love him in such a phenomenal way that even Sri Krishna becomes bewildered, and he surrenders to his bhaktas. For example, in the month of Kartik, in the autumn, we always think of Damodar and Jasoda. And it was Diwali, and Jasoda was holding young Krishna, and he was drinking milk from her breast. And then the milk in the kitchen started to boil over. So she put the child down to go take care of the milk on the stove. And then the baby became very angry. And he said, Krishna was thinking, I'm angry because I was not finished drinking milk. So he really started causing some confusion. And he went to a pot of yogurt and he broke that pot of yogurt and it spread all over the place. And he started eating yogurt. And then he ran to the pantry. And he was climbing on top of the pots in the pantry so he could put his hands into the pots of ghee and butter. And he had ghee and butter all over his face. Then Jasoda came back from the kitchen and found the mess. And she said, aha, my boy must have done this. So she picked up a stick, and it wasn't hard to trace where he was because he had stepped in the yogurt. So there were footprints, and the footprints led directly to the pantry. And she went there, and she found Krishna eating butter and feeding butter to the monkeys. And he looked at her. She looked at him and said, you are eating butter? He had it all over his face. He said, no, mother, I'm not eating butter. So then, because she is mother, what is mother's duty? Mother's duty, I must teach my son how to behave properly. So she said, I have to give him a good lesson. I want him to grow up to be a good boy. I don't want him to be a rascal his whole life. So she said, I'm going to tie him to the pot where I grind spices. And so what did she do? First, she had to chase him. And that was a very beautiful scene. Jasoda is running, and because of her running, the flowers are falling out of her hair, and perspiration is coming on her face. And she had her sari top piece tied around her waist, and that was coming loose. And Krishna's like running and having that black mascara on his eyes. When you were a little boy, did your mama put mascara on your eyes? Did she put kajal on your eyes? Yeah. All you boys, your mama put kajal on your eyes? So he starts to cry because he's afraid of his mother. And the tears are going through the kajal, making these black lines down his face. And it's a very interesting thing because fear personified is fearful of Krishna. Everything is fearful of Krishna. But here, Krishna is fearful of his mother. Finally, she caught. She said, you're a very naughty boy. I'm going to tie you up. So this presents a lot of conflicting thoughts. That if Krishna is God, it means he's without beginning, he's without end. It means he has no inside, he has no outside. He has no top, he has no bottom. Because God is absolute. So how do you tie up something which is absolute? But because she was just thinking, he is my son, because she loved him like that. She didn't think that he was God. She thought, this is my son. She took a little rope from her hair that tied her hair up. And she thought, this will be big, this will be long enough. She tried, but it wasn't long enough. And so then some of her girlfriends started taking the rope out of their hair, and she was tying together, trying to tie. It wasn't long enough. And all of her girlfriends, they're thinking, what is going on? What is going on? And they're all laughing at Jasoda. But Jasoda was thinking, I love my son so much. I have to teach him how to be a good boy. And because Krishna saw that the only intent and the only aim of his mother's actions were just love for him, Krishna said, all right, go ahead and do it. Krishna becomes conquered by the love of his devotees. So he is Bhaktivatsala, the lover of his devotees, but he becomes conquered by the love of his devotees. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he wanted to understand this phenomenon. How is it that these girls in Vrindavan, they love me so much? So he came here, he was Sri Krishna, but he had a different complexion. He wasn't black, he was gold, like his devotee Sri Radhika. And he had the same mood as Sri Radhika. Always, where is my Krishna? Where is my Krishna? Where is my Krishna? Where is my Krishna? And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he wanted to establish this form of devotional practice for all of us. Not that any of us have qualification. Most of us are very unqualified people. Very, very unqualified. But for Lord Chaitanya, that didn't matter. He just wanted to start the process to give us all some qualification so we could learn to love Krishna like that and to go up to Goloka Vrindavan so we could serve Krishna in the Loka Vrindavan. And so in order to spread his teachings, he started gathering different students. And one of his students was a devotee named Sanatana Goswami. And there's one section of Chaitanya Charitamrita where Lord Chaitanya is instructing Sanatana in the whole process of devotional service. He wanted Sanatana to write this down in book form, very scientifically, so that everyone could understand. And so Mahaprabhu began his instructions to Sanatana, and he spoke about Krishna, and he spoke about how we're the eternal living being. But he explained that in our current position, we're captured in this world of Maya. Jaho Pujari. We're captured in this world of Maya, and because we're all in this illusion of trying to enjoy Jai Shri Shri Gornikai Ki
Jai.
Shri Shri Gornikai Ki
Jai.
Shri Shri Gornikai Ki
Jai.
Nitai Gaur Premanandi
Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Hari Bol. Because we identify with this body and we identify with this world, we're quite lost. We're eternal like Krishna because we're part of Krishna. Just like, if you have a gold ring on your finger, that's gold. But gold in the mine, that's gold also, but it's very expensive. But quantitatively, it's the same. Qualitatively, qualitatively, it's the same. Quantitatively, it's different. So, qualitatively, we're the same like Krishna. We're eternal. Our constitutional nature is that we're eternal. We're full of knowledge. And we're meant to experience ecstasy at every moment of life. But qualitatively, he is infinitesimal. No, he's infinite and we're infinitesimal. He's very big and we're very small. He is Vibhu, we are Anu. So Lord Chaitanya explains that. Then he says, so the living being has to get out of this illusion. So he says there's different ways to get out of illusion, different types of yogas. Karma, Jnana, mystic yoga, and bhakti. And Mahaprabhu says, these other processes will not work unless they're infused with bhakti. So then the question comes up, how will a devotee get bhakti? And he says the devotee will get bhakti if he associates with the bhakta. So that's why it's so important that we come and we have association like this. Because bhakti for Krishna rests in the hearts of his bhaktas. And then Mahaprabhu says that if we get the association of a Vaishnava, our lives will change. And we all know that because it happened to us. We had one life before. Neshriji Manivasi had Viking life before. Now he has Vaishnava Viking life. We change. We go from engaging in low activities with no higher aspiration in life. Then we start to have big aspirations and we reform our activities so that we can try to attain those big aspirations, spiritual aspirations. So then Lord Chaitanya, which is the interesting point because the book was marked exactly in the point that I wanted to speak from. Lord Chaitanya says there's three different types of devotees. And he says one is a very, like a new, very, he calls them neophyte devotees. And he says they have faith in Krishna. And so because they have faith in Krishna, they associate with bhaktas so that they can learn something. But their knowledge of Krishna is not really so great. But they have faith in Krishna. It's like if I look at a scale from 53 years ago, when I came to ISKCON, and the way I thought about Krishna then, and the way I think about Krishna now, it's really a different situation, big difference. I was very new, I was very pliable. I but then really just nothing but material hopes. And not any real knowledge of Krishna. So Lord Chaitanya said that's like the starting point. But he says that's good if one will keep associating with Vaishnavas. Because if the Bhakta Sangha is there, one will become purified, progressively purified. And something happens. When the purification is going on, one's faith starts to grow and one's knowledge starts to grow. And these things happen sort of in a I can't think of the word I'm looking for. It's sort of like hand in hand, they grow. Knowledge and faith, knowledge and faith, knowledge and faith, they grow. So then one comes from the position of being like a soft, new, impressionable bhakta. When his knowledge grows, he becomes like an intermediate devotee. It's called a madhyam devotee. And the qualification of a madhyam devotee is that he doesn't have like the perfect knowledge of the scriptures where he can just speak scripture in such a way that everyone would just say, yes, I surrender to Krishna. But he has faith. And like the young devotee, he could fall away and he could go back into material life. But that madhyam devotee, or that middle devotee, intermediate devotee, he'll never fall away. And he'll stay in the Bhakta Sangha, and he'll keep hearing. And Srila Prabhupada says, in that position, one should very carefully and systematically and scientifically read the Bhakti Shastras. Meaning, we should study Bhagavad Gita, and we should study Srimad Bhagavatam, and then we should study Chaitanya Charitamrita. We should understand the books of Srila Prabhupada, not just for casual reading, but we should study in order to learn the science of bhakti. Because the more knowledge we have, simultaneously, the more our faith in Krishna will grow and become very solidified. Back in the summer of, oh my goodness, let's see. In the summer of 1976, Srila Prabhupada inaugurated the New York Rath Yatra. And I was serving in the Toronto, Canada temple at that time. And the 1976 Summer Olympics were taking place in Montreal, Canada. So I took a whole big team of Sankirtan devotees to Montreal. And during the Olympics, we were distributing Srila Prabhupada's books. And it was very wonderful. You know, people were coming to see, like now the Summer Olympics are happening. And people go there to see the greatest athletes in the world perform. And we were making sure that before they would go in, they had to have a Bhagavad Gita. We had so many wonderful, exciting experiences. But the Olympics ended on a Saturday night, and Sunday was going to be Rath Yatra in New York. So we wouldn't, because we were very determined to do our Sankirtan, we wouldn't like cut a few hours from the Sankirtan, but we had to go right to the end of the Sankirtan day. And then we jumped in our van and we drove to New York from Montreal. Just a second. Hey Siri, what is the distance between Montreal and New York?
New York is about 598 kilometers from Montreal. QC.
So we drove 600 kilometers. We finished Sankirtan about 8 at night, got in the van, drove 600 kilometers throughout the night without anybody sleeping. And we reached Montreal. I don't know how we did it. I mean, it was like nonstop driving. We reached Montreal just in the morning at the time of the greeting of the deities. In fact, we arrived just at the end of the deity greeting. We arrived just at the end of the Guru Puja Kirtan. And I remember Srila Prabhupada was standing there, and the devotees were so ecstatic standing around him. And Srila Prabhupada said, because I will be coming to the Rath Yatra and riding on the chariot and then giving a talk at what part did it go to? No, Washington. I think Washington Square Park or something like that. He said, I will be giving a lecture. He said, I won't lecture this morning. He said, you all read from Chaitanya Charitamrita about Rath Yatra pastime. So one of my godbrothers, his name is Rameshwar Prabhu. And he was like very dramatic speaking. And he read the pastimes of Chaitanya Charitamrita of Mahaprabhu at the Rath Yatra. And then I think we jumped upstairs. We found a place where we could like lay down, and all of us lay down and sleep for a few hours. Then we had to go downtown to join the Rath Yatra. Now, before we had gone to the Olympics, I had been, for a few months, I'd been writing a letter to Srila Prabhupada. And it was meant to be a Vyasa Puja letter to Srila Prabhupada. And I really, like from everything I'd read in Srila Prabhupada's books, I was like really trying to pull out different Shastra points, talking about the real necessity of, well, first of all, my point was, I was born in this world in complete darkness. And I was born in a family that just taught me that everything wrong was the right thing to do in life. And I was very lost. But then Prabhupada came and Prabhupada picked me up. So I had many Shastra verses about the importance of spiritual master. It's like a couple pages of letter, and I really spent a lot of time, and even I typed it on a typewriter. And back then we didn't have computers to like cut and paste verses. We had to like read through the books to get the Shastra out. And so we went to the Rath Yatra, and it was glorious. And I had my letter in my pocket. We went to the Rath Yatra. It was really glorious. It was right down Fifth Avenue in New York. 3 huge chariots. And Srila Prabhupada was sitting on the chariot. And hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of devotees there. And Srila Prabhupada even said, I want the people of New York to know how great the Krishna movement is. So in the parade, bring all of your bands from all of the temples. And they should follow along in the parade. Because generally all of our bands had, on the side it was written, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, founder Acharya, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. I want the people to see that. It was really wonderful. And then Prabhupada gave his lecture in the park, and that was really wonderful. And then one drama team from New York that Prabhupada loved very much, devotee drama team. They were all devotees who had gone to university to study drama because they wanted to be actors and actresses, but then they became devotees. So then they had like this fantastic drama group, oh my Lord. And they performed this play, The Age of Kali. And so then Prabhupada left to go back to the temple. So then I told the devotees, I said, I got to get back to the temple to give my letter to Srila Prabhupada. So I got back to the temple and I got in the elevator. At that time we had like a big, beautiful, mini-story building in New York. It was so gorgeous. And when I got into the elevator, Srila Prabhupada's personal secretary was there. And I was thinking, oh, this is very providential. I can just give my letter to this sannyasi, and he will give it to Srila Prabhupada. I'm so fortunate. So I took my letter out and I looked at him and I said, Maharaj, I wasn't Maharaj then. I said, Maharaj, this is my letter for Srila Prabhupada. Can you please give it to him? I spent so much time compiling this. I want Prabhupada to have this. And what Sannyasi Prabhu did is he opened the letter, he took the letter out, unfolded it, he read through it, said, nice verses you used. Then he folded the letter back up, put the letter back in the envelope, and gave it back to me. And he said, Prabhupada is so busy translating, he doesn't have time for this. And when he said that, then the first thought that came to my mind is, I should kill him immediately. But then my intelligence started working, and my intelligence said, no, it's not auspicious if you kill your spiritual master's secretary. So just on the moment, I ate a very, very, very big piece of humble pie. It didn't taste good, but I ate it. And then I went back to Toronto. And then we drove back to Toronto that night. Oh my God, we drove there all night. We drove back. I don't know how, and we lived. I don't know how we didn't crash and drive off the road. But then shortly after, one of my nice god brothers from Toronto is an Indian gentleman from Punjab. He said, I'm going to Vrindavan to see Srila Prabhupada. And I said, can you take this letter for Srila Prabhupada? He said, yes, of course. So he went to Vrindavan and he walked into Srila Prabhupada's afternoon darshan. Every afternoon, Srila Prabhupada would sit in his seat in Vrindavan, and devotees would come in, and sometimes people from like pundits and different nice people from Vrindavan society, they would come in and they would sit, and Prabhupada would just chat with them and answer their questions. And then my god brother walked in, offered his obeisances, and he said, Srila Prabhupada, one nice devotee in Toronto wrote this letter for you. Srila Prabhupada took the letter and he opened it and he looked at it, and my god brother said, Prabhupada started to smile. And then Prabhupada turned to his personal secretary. He said, please read this letter to everyone. And then later I received a letter from Srila Prabhupada thanking me for my letter. And Srila Prabhupada said, please accept my blessings, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. He said, and Prabhupada wrote, your Siddhanta, my conclusion of my letter, he said, your Siddhanta is correct to the Shastra. He said, by your letter, I can see that you are very happy because you are reading my books. And then Srila Prabhupada, he quoted one verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita, where it said, one should always read and one should always hear the topics of Krishna. Even if it seems like they're unable to understand, still one should read and one should hear. And he says, because if one will do that, one's mind will become very steady and one will always be satisfied in devotion. And then Prabhupada, he concluded his letter by saying, so I'm very happy that you are reading my books. He said, continue reading my books and you will never be confused by any bogus philosophy. Signed, your ever well-wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. So the second class devotee, he will study Shastra nicely. Then his faith will grow. But the first class devotee, he really knows the conclusions of Shastra. And because he knows the conclusions of Shastra, that Krishna is the origin of everything, then the first class devotee, he'll see Krishna everywhere he looks. Like now we theoretically understand that everybody is a part and parcel of Krishna, and that Krishna is within everybody's heart, correct? Krishna is in everyone's heart as the Paramatma. So since Krishna is in everybody's heart as Paramatma, we give everyone pranam, correct? No. Because Krishna is there. His body is mandir, and Krishna is living in the mandir. So we give everybody pranam. But when one is a first class devotee, he has absolute faith in Krishna, and he has absolute knowledge of Shastra, then everywhere he looks, he sees Krishna. You'll see Krishna in your heart. He'll see you there, and you'll see Krishna there. And if he looks at wood, he'll see Krishna. If he looks at a tree, he'll see Krishna. If he looks at a dog, he'll see Krishna. Everything, he will see Krishna. Not from a theoretical position, but from a realized position. Like now we're theoretical, yes? But that will be realized position. Just like as an example is given. It's like, say you have a village in India, or you have a village in Nepal, or even a city in India, Nepal, Bangladesh. We had Bangladeshi Prabhu here last night. You know, husband will go off for his work in the morning. And because husband loves wife and family so much, husband will work so hard all day long. Whatever his job is, if he's a farmer, he'll work hard. If he's a merchant, he'll work hard. He'll work hard because he wants to provide for wife and children so they can have a good life. And because his wife is so appreciative, what will she do? She knows when husband will come home. So before husband comes home, she will make sure house is perfectly clean. She'll make sure that prasadam is ready, something tasty. Bangladeshi rule. Like, when you get married, you come home, And there will be like nice chawal and some nice dal with lao inside. And she'll make some shak. And she'll make some shukta. And she'll make some pati chachari. And she'll make lal sag. And she'll make puri sag. And she'll make luchi. And then she'll give you misty boy. And then you'll end up with paramana. Does anybody, other than a Bengali, does anybody know what paramana is? Paramana is sweet rice, the supreme rice. Paramana, the supreme grain is sweet rice. You see, what is in store for you? You'll become very, very mota. So she does all of this nice for her husband because her husband is just like laboring. And before husband comes home, she'll have bath. And she'll put on her nicest sari. Maybe if husband gave her some bangles, she'll put on bangles and she'll put some nice tika. Because he wants to be so beautiful for the husband. So when he comes home, his mind will be peaceful. And then his husband will come there and he'll see wife dressed in so beautiful sari. But the husband doesn't see the sari. He doesn't just see the tika. He doesn't see the bangle. He doesn't just see, maybe some incense burning in the house. He's not just thinking with joy, that prasad is in the pots. Some gobi pakora. Some tomato chutney. But he says, this is my wife that loves me so much. He sort of sees beyond everything else. So a pure devotee, or Uttam Bhakta, will see beyond all of the earth, water, fire, air, mind, intelligence, ego. See Shamsundar. Everywhere the pure devotee looks, you see Shamsundar. And the pure devotee, he'll see everyone equal. So like it said, like if Narad Muni, great Vaishnava, Acharya Guru, Narada Muni, if he meets Ravana, or if he meets Kamsa, he'll give his pranam. Like my Sika was going strange the other day. It was going straight up. And Yogi was saying, "Oh Maharaj, did you ever see old Indian movie with Narad Muni in it?" and Narad Muni was like, "Namo Narayana, Namo Narayana." But Narada Muni, if he sees even a Rakshas like Ravana, he'll give him pranam. Because he'll say, he is part of Krishna. He is Krishna, his Narada is so liberal. So that is very high devotional service. But we should try to become advanced in Krishna consciousness. All of us. We don't want to stay at the starting gate. We want to finish the race. And my friend always used to tell me, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. So we start in one way. When we're a child, we think like a child. We speak like a child. We play like a child. But in the mature stage, we speak a different way. We see a different way. We think in a different way. So all of us, we should try to grow in Krishna consciousness. And how to do that? Keep the Bhakta Sangha, keep the Vaishnava Sangha. Srila Prabhupada would always quote Narottam Das Thakur, Tadera Charana Seva Bhakta Sanibas, Janami Janami Hoy, E Abhilas. The word Abhilas, it means my big hope, my big desire of my heart. What is the big desire of my heart? What should our big heart's desire be? That we will live in the Sangha of the Bhaktas, life after life, and engage in the service of their lotus feet. That's all we want. Just live with devotees, be with devotees, chant kirtan with devotees, hear about Krishna with the devotees, take prasad with the devotees, do seva for the deities with the devotees, clean the floor of the temple with the devotees, always with the devotees. Because bhakti comes from bhaktas. Krishna puts his kripa in the hearts of the bhaktas, and if we live with the bhaktas and if we serve the bhaktas, Krishna will share that kripa. You got it, Joy? You got it? You got it, Papu? That's our big desire. That's our big hope. To stay with the devotees. Wherever you are, find devotees and engage in hearing and chanting about Krishna with the devotees. So, in the beginning of the Bhagavatam, when I think it's when Sukadeva Goswami begins his teachings to Parikshit Maharaj. He tells Parikshit Maharaj, Tasmad Sarvesh, no, he says, Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma, Bhagavan Ishvaro Hari, Shrotavyat Chititavyascha, Smartavyat Chaichitavayam. He says, therefore, O descendant of Bharat, he's speaking to Parikshit Maharaj, you want to become perfect? Then you should always hear about Hari. You should always hear about Krishna. Tasmad Bharata Sarvatma, he's the super soul. He's the Sarvatma. He's the soul inside of everyone's heart. He's Bhagavan. He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead with all six opulences of rule. Ishwar. He's the controller of all universes. Always hear and always engage in his service. And he says, and how to do that most practically? Shrotavyak, Kirtitavyascha, Smartavyak. Shrotavyak. It means to hear. Always hear. Kirtitavyascha. Always repeat what you hear. Like joy. If one of the bhaktas tells you Krishna is blue, and that's all you know, then you go out and tell somebody on the street Krishna's blue. Krishna's blue. Shrotavyak, kirtitavyascha, smartavyak. And then remembrance will come. It's natural psychology. If we're always hearing about a topic, if we're always speaking about a topic, we'll always think of that topic. We'll think about Krishna. And Krishna says, Man mana bhava. always think of me with love. So to think of Krishna with love, we have to read and hear about Krishna. The Shrotavya, Kirtitavya, Smartavya, Chechatabayam. And it's like Chechatabayam. He says, then you'll come to a position of life. You'll come to a position of consciousness. Abhay. What does Abhay mean? Hare Krishna. When he was born, his papa gave him the name Abhay. Abhay. He is fearless. And he gave him the name Famous. And they're fearless and famous. They're very fearless and famous. You have to be fearless and famous to hang out together. But if we do this, if we will hear and chant about Krishna and remember Krishna, every fear in life will go away. We only, my dear Prabhus and my dear Matajis, we only fear when we think that we're this body. We only fear when we think that we are this mind. But when we have knowledge and realization, and we understand I am not this body and I'm not this mind, no more fear. Jai Chitadayam. Because one comes to the position of self-realization and Krishna consciousness. This is what we want. So stay with the bhaktas and always do these activities in the sangha of the bhaktas and always serve the bhaktas. And in time, the sweetest fruit and the sweetest perfection will come. And this is what bhakti is all about. Bhakti has different stages. Bhakti is like a mango. And all of our Bangladeshi, Indian, Nepali, all these people, they understand mango nicely. Just think, we are here eating blueberries, and we just mango season is closing in India. Now a heavy monsoon is coming, and now we're missing mangoes. One time Srila Prabhupada was going to go to Russia to preach. I think it was in 71. And Prabhupada was fearless. He was really Abhay. His name was Abhay Charanaravinda. So really at height of the Soviet Union, Srila Prabhupada wanted to go to Moscow to preach. And the devotees told him, said, but Prabhupada, you are leaving. Now it's mango season. How could you go away? It's mango season. And Prabhupada said, preaching the glories of Krishna and the glories of Krishna's holy name in such a place as Russia is sweeter than the sweetest mango. So bhakti is like mango. And we know mango starts as a little thing like this, right? Just some mango trees with all those beautiful golden flowers. And then when the flowers go down, this hard little green thing comes. Maybe many hard little green things come. And then the more heat, more heat, mango is growing. With more heat, mango is becoming more sweet, right? So and then sometimes mango is just like brick, correct? And at that time, all of these Indian ladies, Nepali ladies, Bangladeshi ladies, they take the mangoes and they cut them and they make achar. But then later, it becomes ripe and it becomes so sweet. The bhakti is like that. You start in some hard position, but the potentiality of bhakti is to become the sweetest mango. Meaning, the potentiality of bhakti is the revelation of prema bhakti, which is our goal of life. Okay, thank you all very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
See everyone tomorrow night. Please come. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
His Holiness Bhakti Govinda Swami Maharaj Ki.
Jai.
Thank you very much, Maharaj, for your wonderful kirtan.